Well, it worked. Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for turning out. The numbers in the room bode really well for the season ahead, which is fantastic. We've had skippers or competitors briefings for a number of years. There's a couple of differences this year, and that's because of the way that particularly the authorities have reacted to incidents that have happened over the last 2 or 3 years. They seem to be intent on finding somebody at fault, somebody to blame for whatever might have happened. And tonight is partly about protecting the club, the race officers on duty, all of whom are volunteers, and also helping you as skippers in particular and your crew, making sure that you also are protected from anybody who might try and come after you. So for that reason, we are going to video the first part of the evening, and we're going to post the video on the website so that people who aren't here this evening can look at it at their leisure. Partly for that, could we keep any questions until we've finished, and then we'll very happily go through any queries and questions that you may have. Secondly, we've asked everybody to sign in, so if you haven't signed in, could you please do so? Because that then just gives us a record as a club as to who's been here and listened to the words of wisdom which the gentleman on my right is about to inform all of us about. Signing in, video, questions at the end, formality. I'm done. I can sit down.
Right, do I have to stand up?
Yes.
Oh. Right. We've got a few things to go through. I apologise if it's just running through or trying to teach Granny to suck eggs, but we have to do it, unfortunately. If I turn it on, it would be better, wouldn't it? Is that? Right, it's basics. There are new course lists here for this year. If you could limit yourself to one a boat, that would be good. Thank you. Be aware that there are changes to the courses, so throw away your old ones. We've all done that in the past. An apology, really, to start with. The SI books are not out yet. There's been a delay in printing, but they should be here by next week. The courses, everything is on the website, so you can access it. With regard to the courses, it's not on there or in the handbook, but we may be using the yellow docs buoy for shortening courses or race officer's choice. You know the one I mean? Guy, you're looking puzzled. The one that isn't a buoy out by the gate. So if that comes up, it can be used. The other thing about courses and marks, Neil Andrew is questioning whether they can get the laid buoys out for next Tuesday. In which case he'll have to be race officer's choice. Dave, where is he? Around the permanent marks. So just be aware of that. Right, the more difficult stuff now. The skipper's responsibilities, which is what this is all about tonight, really. And it's basics. Please read the NOR and SIs. There are changes, been rewritten this year. In the NOR, there's a list of safety equipment that we ask you to it's not that extensive, but it is there. And if everybody could have everything on there on board. We're just trying to protect ourselves for when things go wrong. It does include a working radio, and it means to be kept on for the whole of the race, please. Look at the forecast. The decision to sail is the skipper's, whether we put a race on or not. And the one big change this year is personal flotation devices, life jackets. We're taking the responsibility for life jackets away from the race officers, so there'll be no Y flag this year. It's skipper and crew's responsibility. Have enough on board, take some spares if you can. But that is the skipper's responsibility from now on, is to, when the crews wear life jackets. Another thing, if you can do, is to practice your man overboard procedures. If you could. And just a reminder that we don't operate the safety boat. So the club ethos really is self-rescue. So if a boat's in trouble, please go and help and stand by her until she's either safe or back underway. And the Coast Guard is your first port of call. Part of signing up to race is that you agree to read and abide by the harbour bylaws. The harbour master, those who came and listened to him talk, he is pro racing. He likes what we do, but he's not going to stand for transgressions. So it's no sailing in the moorings. Go straight to the fairway. Have lights on at night. When it gets dark, early and late, put your lights on. Especially ribs. He is going to come down on ribs, flying around in the dark. Where are we to? Right, the other new thing today, which I put out earlier on, is a crew Google form. I think most of you saw that on the apps come through. We need to have a database of the people that are on the water, not necessarily who's on each boat each night, although it has been asked for, but we're fending it off. But if we can have a database of everybody that's on the water, if and when things go wrong, you may have picked up Jeremy off the quay and you don't know anything other than he's called Jerry. If you lose him overboard, we haven't got a leg to stand on. Because the first thing they want to know is, who is he? What's his next of kin? How do we contact his emergency contact? So if you could, everybody fill in that form, please. We can't make you do it, but if it goes wrong and you haven't done it, they will come after you. Whoa, where are we to? Google form, yeah, we're on that. The racing rules of sailing, there have been some changes. I don't think they're that onerous, are they? It's mostly...
No, it's mostly just wording.
Wording and changes of numbers.
Change any of the main rules.
No.
You still mustn't hit anybody. Avoid a collision.
Race officer duty. The list is on the website, I believe, Gay, isn't it?
Available.
Is it not there?
No, nothing on the website is coming up at all. Paul can't get it, I can't get it, Kay can't get it.
Really?
Nigel Rowe can't get it, I don't know who else can get it.
I opened
Okay.
it today. I opened the NOR and the sailing
Well, I
instruction.
tried it 10 minutes before I came here and it won't open up.
Okay.
It should open up because it's been up since yesterday. The race officer's rota isn't up yet.
No,
The NOR and the SIs are up. So
the
you might
NOR
need
was
to,
up, I got that.
you might need
3-4
to
weeks.
Okay,
refresh
that's-
your browser.
Let's do this in a minute. Okay, so once the SIs are out, or I'll put a list of race officers' rota up, as we haven't got the handbook. Please check your dates as when you're down to do a rota. If there's any problems, let me know or swap. And if you do swap, please let us know. Come prepared. Bring somebody with you. Look at the weather and have some possible courses and committee boat positions ready. Just as a start, things change when you're on the water. I do understand that, but have a little think about it before you start. There's guidance on the website. There's also handbooks to read. Okay. Advertisers. Izzy has worked really hard getting advertising and sponsorship this year. It's not been easy. If you go and deal with anybody who's advertising, please tell them that you found them in the handbook and give them a reason to come back next year. Right, Ancaster.
Go for it.
Right, we want to put this to the room. We have been offered 2 trophies by Ancaster for the best skipper and best crew. And we're scratching our heads as to how to operate this and how we pick it, how we vote for it. We'd like some suggestions and try bribes. Who can buy the most beer? Yeah. So if anybody's got any ideas, let us know.
Is it best in some other sense than most successful?
I think so, yes. Yeah. It's they've been offered to us as that.
Is it up to the club to define what best?
Well, this is what I'm asking. Yeah. What do you leave it to 2 or 3 people to pick out? Anyway.
Best dressed.
The last item I've got here is tracking. John, do you want to say?
Tracking something. I need the mic. Okay. Let me. Can I say a couple of things? Right?
Go on then.
Okay. You've done well, but you missed a couple of things.
Right.
Right.
Just a couple of marks.
You can see me, right? Okay.
Lip rig as well.
On the course card, you'll notice that there's some suggested committee boat positions for each set of courses, because our friends across the water discovered that if they put the committee boat in the wrong place, the courses didn't work. Right, so it does 2 things. One tells you where to look for the committee boat, and 2, it gives an idea for the race officers where to put the committee boat for the courses to work. All right, and the amendments have all been made by our friends across the water, who used a piece of string on their course board, and they weren't happy with one or 2 of them that they thought were hooked. It didn't really matter to me, because once you've gone around the mark, if you go the other way, they're hooked anyway, but there you go. So hopefully they're improvements, and they're subtle changes. So do be careful that you're looking at this year's and not last year's.
That's just for Tuesday night, isn't it, John?
It's Tuesday night and Friday night. They're the same. They were using the same courses. All right. Saturdays we still kept our same courses that we've had for a number of years. We haven't made any changes to them, and we haven't had any requests to change them. So you have an opportunity for next year if you don't like them this year, but nobody's done it so far. But we haven't reviewed them, and we haven't revised them, and we assume that everybody's happy with them. All right. The skipper's responsibility thing. Several of us know quite a lot of the details about where all this lot has come from, and we're happy to talk about it, but it's quite a long story, and the report from Ireland's 169 pages long, so it's probably too much for us. But you should know how many people are on your boat. The RNLI and the Coast Guard, their first question is, how many people on the boat? Right, now you might know, but if you're the one who's been knocked out, your crew should know that there's, I'm thinking particularly triggers, because, we don't know how many's on triggers. But, you should know how many's on your boat. You should know the name of your crew, a little bit about it. If you pick somebody up off a quay, I sailed with somebody and I called him Mike, and when I came in, somebody said, his real name's Mark, don't you? So, and we want to take people out, we want to encourage people to go out on the boats, but if the worst thing happened, you should be able to identify them, or at least, you know, in this database of Google form goes nowhere, right? It just sits on a computer up there. Nobody will look at it. You don't, you know, there's a minimal risk, absolute minimal risk of losing that information, you know, to the wider world. It's just there in case the club gets asked to say who was on that boat or who this person was who was on that boat. So, you know, if there's 3 Freds on the list, it's got to be one of those 3, and it's we're down to a fairly small number. I mean, that's the idea. If crew go by their nickname, there's a young lass called Jazz who sailed with us and sails with John on Amigo, things like that. Jazz is probably not a good enough name to know by. But, so that's the sort of hole that we don't want you to fall into. All right, it's just a bit of everybody covering their backs a little bit, really. That's it. What am I supposed to be talking about?
Tracking.
Tracking. Right. It would be really nice if the race office had a chart like this and could follow the fleets of boats around the courses on a computer screen, right? And we're looking for a suitable tracking device that people are prepared to use and will give us that and isn't too complicated. There are some out there. Yeah, mobile phone will do it. You're absolutely right. RaceQ's got 5-minute delay in it.
AirTag.
Right, RaceQ has never been, hasn't been updated for 11 years. It says copyright, the copyright updates, it does that automatically. RaceQ's is about the best, and I've sent them several emails, but they never respond, which is a shame, because if they'd update it to a live thing, and we paid the 300 or 400 quid it is to have all the tracking of the boats, it would be really brilliant. But that's the idea. That's what we're looking for. If anybody knows of an app or sees an app or somebody tells them about them in another port, let me know, because we'd like to have a look at it. We have had a demonstration of one from Sail Racer. It's brilliant for a single boat regatta. You know, you can have 150 boats. It will record the scores. It will load it into Sailwave. It will do the whole thing, providing that you've got somebody there permanently keying it all in. It won't work for us as a club. So we are looking for tracking. We can see the advantage of it. You know, it'd be great for a race officer to know how the race is progressing. It would give us an opportunity to shorten courses. People could phone in when they reach a particular mark, or call in on the radio. You know, there's lots of things we could use it for to improve the racing and get you in daylight rather than darkness. We know it's possible. We just need to find it. So if anybody comes up with that, finds it, let me know, and I'll have a look at it. It's an aspiration. Yeah.